Hello, welcome back to part 2 of the videos covering discipline. Once again, I'm Paul Burnell, one of the co-creators of Empowerment and Man Reborn. So today we're going to be covering proactive and reactive, 3 or 4 of the 4 major aspects of discipline that we said we were going to cover and just talk about. I want to start off with the first one, proactive discipline. So proactive, this is where when you have your active discipline that we covered in the first video, the power of your values, what you're looking to do, what you're looking to accomplish, how you're looking to accomplish it. As you put in the proper steps of execution into it, whether it's your goal settings, whether it's your outcome-based oriented process, however you wanted to execute your strategy and put it in place with all the markers to check, you want to make sure that proactive is orchestrating tomorrow today. So what does that mean? That means by having a focus of where you want to go with the orientations of your goals, the strategy, the structure, how you're executing it, you want to reflect today, sitting down at the end of the day. How did I do today? What are my accomplishments? What can I do better? What effects, what external environments happened today that I need to make adjustments to be able to accomplish my goals and to stay on track? And that is where you have proactive, because you're looking at the future and you're making sure that your approach to get there is malleable as you're using, your determination, your resiliencies, all these positive attributes and character traits. When you're looking at the execution aspect of it, are you getting there on the process that you need to? Do you need to adapt? Do you need to steadfast and how to maneuver and make through? And make sure that you're on track. You need to be self-aware and to do self-assessment to make sure you're accomplishing and you're staying track of where and how you need to go. With the practice of proactive discipline, we develop a higher level of resiliency by foreseeing challenges and preparing for them. We build an innate strength that helps us navigate life's ups and downs with greater courage and tenacity. The strength in turn gives us a rise in resilient mindset that persists in the face of adversity. So as things are happening, whether you've foreseen them or not, our external environment's really throwing you and your strategy awry. And how are you going to get back on track in order to persevere and use a lot of the resiliency and the dedication of trying to accomplish, or the process of accomplishing, on a daily basis. Proactive discipline allows you to create a series of effects that align with your life's goals. Going back to the first video when we talked about values, making sure that your active and your active and your passive discipline are in cohesiveness to your life's goals and how you want to get there. And sitting down on a daily basis, asking yourself the tough questions and reflecting about what you're doing and what you're experiencing on a daily basis, Do you need to alter? Do you need to change? Do you need to just put one off as you're learning to do something else? Because nothing is fixed. So if you said that you're going to accomplish it, you don't have to, But what you should be doing is doing a daily reflections about being disciplined in the aspects of, you're in a job, for an example, you're in a job, you deserve better, you want to be better, you want to be more effective and efficient with your time. Maybe going back to school is something that you choose to do, but because there's only a period of time every single day, maybe you need to put one of your goals off, in order for you to accomplish your job or your skill set in that field of accomplishing school in order to get to where you want to go financially. So maybe aligning your life's goals as your life's goals change, sitting down, doing daily journals, daily reflections will help you know what goals you're on track with and what you can push off until you accomplish certain other things. Maybe learning new tools or what you need to accomplish a specific goal. right? Or a specific task, or a short-term goal that allows you to accomplish that long-term goal. So the daily reflecting, that's where being proactive is, of shaping your life, leading to your life's goals. Because sometimes you do need to pause one, learn something else, and start back at it again. When you look at self-growth and personal development, self-reflection comes from self-growth. Personal development is the ability to know that you have that growth mindset to where you can learn new things. The idea that you really stop learning after school and then you just kind of learn in your job here, you learn a little bit there. I mean, to me, that's the worst part of programming, because you should be continuously pushing your knowledge, your ability, and learning as much as you can often, as long as it allows you the ability to do so and it doesn't offset your vision of what your life's goals are. But reading, writing, understanding, whether it's philosophy, a specific topic, whatever it needs to be, make sure that is the focus behind a lot of your goals, right? Because you have to be in a growth mindset in order to accomplish anything. The symphony of proactive discipline also plays a vital tune of accountability. It underscores the importance of taking ownership of our actions and being responsible to the melodies we compose in life. The realization fosters a deep sense of responsibility and maturity, shaping us into better versions of ourselves. Perhaps the most beautiful part of a symphony is the confidence that comes with proactive discipline. As we take charge of our lives, predicting our obstacles, preparing for them, and continuously adapting, we develop a profound series of self-belief. This confidence radiates in all areas of our lives. It enhances our relationships, our work, and most importantly, our self-perception. So you can see self-reflection is one of the key values that pushes for growth, confidence, understanding, how you walk in life and how you walk with life. That growth mindset is life is happening for us, meaning it is there for us to be able to mirror and match energetically with the proper steps, the proper everything that we need to do, the positive attributes of who we are, how we want to execute it, what we want to do, and putting the community, the energy, the effort, all of that together to rise up to that level. The complete opposite of non-accomplishment that negates the aspects of even discipline even existing is a fixed, limited mindset that life happens to you. So if it happens to you, that's already predetermined, right? That mentality is more or less of you're born with everything that you have, and the ability to grow and to change and to be better isn't even an option, which is not true, in my belief. So, proactive, orchestrating tomorrow's today. Proactive discipline inspires to learn, adapt, evolve, and constantly learn, right? It compels you to pause, self-reflect, and consider the implications of your actions. And this is so important when it comes to controlling your discipline, controlling your impulses. The impulse of constantly reacting, which is egoically based, and we touch on that in our course and some other videos, the difference between responding and reacting. Egoically reacting also affects your actions, right? Because it is a sense of energy that you're putting out, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's intellectual, lack of intellectual in that aspect. But if you're not being able to put that wick, which I say that wick back in action and reaction and reaction and action, you're going to impulsively want to defend your ego, right? But when you look at the passive aspect of discipline, this is where you reflect. Am I doing what I need to in order to accomplish my goals on time, right? Because if it's their time and measured in the effects and the efficiency of pursuing what you need to through a disciplinary action, are you able to accomplish them when you need to? Proactive discipline echoes into the future that reflects the best version of ourselves. and a score that helps us design a life of growth, fulfillment, and resilience. It reminds us that the composer of our lives capable of creating a future symphony that resonates with our highest aspirations. So as life goes on, we said in the first video, you can't pause life, it just continues. So if you accomplish something else, it's better to put another goal, another aspiration, another inspiration in place, because if not, like we said, if you don't fill your life with what you do want, it'll naturally be filled with what you don't want, because in a 24-hour period, you're accomplishing your goals, and then what, right? You got to look back at your 12 major aspects of existence and see where you want to grow. And as you plan them out, constantly as you accomplish, right, you're right back into a next set of goals or whatever, to be able to continuously fuel yourself and push yourself to be better on a consistent basis. Take the time and the rest when you need to, but in the grand scheme of things, you always want to look to push and to be better. So now let's take a look at reactive discipline. It is responding instead of being proactive, right? So if this is the self-reflective aspect, this is what happens externally. So there's 100% of life, 50% you control, 50% you can't control. The side that you can't control is external environments. So when you're looking at that, this creates a whole new set of character traits and tools that you can use to bounce back when unexpectations happen. So responsive driven and how we handle and react to situations, the most important. And how we handle and react to situations, and that is the most important. Because do you want to react with your emotions, or do you want to respond with intelligence? And that's what we were talking about earlier. Developing reactive discipline is intrinsically linked to boost our emotional intelligence. This includes building self-awareness, learning to regulate our emotions, and nurturing empathy, and honing our social skills. For instance, practicing mindfulness can help us respond rather than react, lead to better impulse control, and similarly, empathizing with others can allow us to see different perspectives and make more thoughtful decisions. All of them is everything in that paragraph is what's happening outside of us. So when you're going through life and you're around people, what kind of social skills are you using? Are you being aware of yourself, of your environment, how you're portraying into that room, into that environment with those people, whether you're in a store, whether you're in work, whether you're with your family? Like, what is your energy, your ability, you as a human, how your mannerisms and how you're handling and interacting in that situation? What are you doing in that time, right? So when external environments do pop up and something happens, what are you able to do with your proper steps and procedures and to get back on track as efficiently and effectively as possible? Reactive discipline helps build self-awareness because it allows you to respond under pressure. If a lot of things are happening at work, I grew up in the restaurant industry, and the one thing I loved about it is not every day was the same. So when I was managing, I'm in charge of, I was executive chef in the kitchen, but I was also had roles of being the supporting manager in the front of the restaurant as well. So not only did I have my kitchen staff, but I had the front of the house. They're coming up asking questions, and I'm dealing with all the variables of running a kitchen at the same time. So constantly, I had to be very good at reactive discipline because I needed to make sure I was making the best decision under pressure in that moment until the end of the night. So because it was high stress, constant variables coming and going with tickets coming in that had to be prepared, the kitchen staff and the front of the house, and all the other variables outside dealing with the guests in the dining room. Had to be really good at being able to react with my intelligence the best way possible. So having self-awareness and learning how to regulate emotions. It's easy to get frustrated under pressure, right? But are you able to put that wick back into place? Am I able to pause and reflect in the process of regulating my emotions as I'm dealing with a high stress situation? And that's one example that you can kind of pull in, right? Whether you're an accountant or you're in finance or whatever kind of business, there's periods of the year where it's crunch time. My buddy is a financial specialist, and at the end of every month, a lot of things are due at that time, and sometimes he's up working until 3 o'clock in the morning, and that needs to happen. But what do you do, and how do you regulate your emotions at that time when it's time to go and time to put in energy and effort? Also, when you can see, it equips us with the ability to handle unexpected situations effectively. It's easy once you get the key of this. Sometimes it's easier to handle this than it is being proactive, which is internal. So when you think about it, this is internal environments and this is external environments. Sometimes we get so good with being reactive that we don't sit down and we reflect proactively and think about, what can I do next time? How did other people experience and respond to my actions in being reactive in a high pressure situation? What can I do differently? Removing yourself, thinking about the experiences of being externally driven from external environments. How can I be better at doing this? And that is where growth comes into play. Integrating reactive discipline with other forms such as active, proactive, and passive is like crafting holistic discipline strategy. Active discipline allows you to take initiative. Proactive discipline aids us in anticipating and preventing from future events. Reactive discipline equips us with the ability to handle unexpected situations effectively. They work in synergistically, each complementing each other. While the reactive form of discipline may at first seem less strategic than active, passive, or proactive, it is equally critical in the life's journey. Developing reactive discipline involves enhancing our emotional intelligence and equipping ourselves to respond effectively to life's unpredictabilities. This form of discipline is harmony with active, passive, and proactive discipline, creates the comprehensive approach to personal growth and achievement. It is very important to learn and to see which one is your strength here out of all the four, and then which one is your biggest area of opportunity and focus on. For most people, we exist here, right? We think that in life we have a lot of external environments that we need to put out on a daily basis. But if you come back here to proactive and you're doing a lot of self-reflections on a daily basis, this is where you're able to kind of plan ahead. Because let's stay on the topic of work. If you know you're getting down to crunch time and you've been there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you know what to look for in that time. You know what emotions come up. So how can you handle those emotions as they arise, right? How can you passively allow yourself to reflect? How can you use proactive discipline, pull in passive discipline to work with your emotions and your energies while you have reactive discipline in mind, right? Because you can combine these two. You combine all four. As I read, the balance of all four is where, the reciprocity lives in all of life. Because you have internal, you have external, you have action, and then you have the resistance of action. So what are you how can you utilize all four? So make sure you definitely pay attention to yourself, how you interact, how you function, how you exist every day on a daily basis with yourself and the people around you. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and make sure that you like and share. Like I said in the previous one, we're looking to build this community. We want to give knowledge. We want to give our perception. We want to give people a more simple way of understanding a lot of these complex aspects of existence and life. And hopefully you can use this to understand that you do have the ability to grow. You do have the abundance. You do have the confidence and the knowledge to grow your discipline in these four aspects and push for a better life. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you next video.